everybody. This is your host, Huge Pop, from the Huge Pop Wrestling Podcast. And this week is a very special week. I'll just bring it up to speed. WXW, the promotion ran by Alpha the Wild Samoan out of Florida, are closing the doors this Saturday and at their final farewell event. Saturday, 5:30. I guess the start time is 5:30 Eastern. Lots of happening. I'm blessed to have on our screen tonight. He's trained with Alpha the Wild Samoans. He goes by Diamond Kid and the Black Diamond. He is a current Riot Pro Wrestling Tag Team champ. Welcome to the show, Sean Scott. How you doing, my friend?
Not bad, man. How you doing?
Pretty good. There's a lot to talk about. Lots about how you as a fan, and there's a lot. I want to dive big time into WXW, but we're going to go through some Riot Pro and some stuff like that. And interesting stuff before we even got on air. Sean Scott shared some interesting, cool things I did not know about, and we're going to dive into that kind of basic sort of stuff too. So my first question for the Diamond Kid or Sean Scott is, what was it like growing up as a fan, man?
Oh, man. Well, my name is Sean, and I remember flipping through the TV and seeing all of a sudden pop up Shawn Michaels. And I was like, well, I got to watch this. What the heck is going on? And it was actually, I love at first sight. The second I saw Shawn Michaels flying around, I think it was 4 or 5 years old. That was my first ever memory of it. And I was hooked from that moment on. I actually have Shawn Michaels tattoo.
Okay.
Right there on my arm. Always been an inspiration of mine.
Awesome. So was it strictly WWE? Did you watch WCW too, or?
Okay. As far as the Monday Night War goes, I was all about Monday Night Raw. I was all about the Attitude Era, and I thought WCW was nothing but wheelchair wrestling. I'm not even going to lie. Not a fan at all, except for the Cruiserweights and Booker T.
Okay.
The Cruiserweights and Booker T. All day.
Okay, cool. I mean, I got a TikTok question for you regarding WCW.
Uh-oh.
Who is the greatest WCW champion of all time?
Booker T.
No.
Booker
David
T.
Arquette. David Arquette.
Not even close. That was the movie, though. I'll give you that. That movie, oh, I still watch it. I love that movie.
Absolutely.
But not Booker T easy.
Watching as a fan, was there a specific major match that you remember going, oh my God?
Oh, gosh, back then the rivalry between Shawn Michaels and Bret Hart.
Yeah.
Those two, because there was actual hatred. There was real raw emotion in there. Like before you were actually able to show that real side.
Yeah.
Those real emotions.
Absolutely.
It was, oh man, those two.
Okay. Are you a current fan today?
Not as big as I was, but I still always watch.
You acknowledge the tribal chief?
I don't know who you're talking to. No, definitely not. Definitely.
No.
I'm more about the young talent. A lot of people that I had the opportunity to actually wrestle and be like in the ring with and train with and do things like that, especially the NXT crew. Yeah. Big fans like D'Angelo. Like I love what they're doing over there with them. This new side of Baron Corbin, I freaking love that guy. He's a beast. He is an absolute beast. The Street Profits.
Yep.
Those guys, hands down. Bobby Lashley, he's taking them to new heights, and I can't wait to see what they do.
Absolutely. So I was told, other than wrestling, I was told that you have a craft that you're really good at.
Yeah, I'm actually a chef.
Yes, man. I heard. Can you talk about that before we jump into your wrestling career?
Well, it was actually from my grandmother because I moved from Chicago to become a wrestler. That's all I ever wanted to do. So I was like, I'm just gonna put everything in my car. I'm just gonna drive down. I'm just gonna see what happens. And she was terrified, and she's like, I just want you to do something safe. So I went to culinary school, and it turned out to love it. Love every second of it. Everything I ever got to do. Like it expanded my palate, and I love things that I never even thought about eating before. And I went and got 2 degrees. 2 culinary degrees. I want to go get another one. I want to get my bachelor's, and I want to get my own restaurant one day. But
you currently work at a restaurant, or?
yeah, I work at 2. I'm a manager, KM, but nothing major right now because my focus is more on
Professional
wrestling.
Yeah, absolutely. So, what was that moment that Sean Scott said, "I'm in, man. I'm going. I'm putting everything in my car. I'm going to get a training school. Boom. That's why I'm doing it."
My life growing up was pretty hard. It was pretty rough. I was on the streets. I was gang banging and slanging and doing a whole bunch of stuff that I should not have been doing. And I got into a nasty altercation, found myself in the hospital, and I was just like, I can't do this anymore. So I was like, I got to leave. I got to start over. I can't be where everybody knows me. And ironically, I moved to Florida, and now everybody knows me.
No, Julio shared he shared that a little bit that you faced adversity prior to becoming a wrestler. So man, that must I either had to do this or this.
Yeah,
And
I'd either be in jail or dead if it wasn't for Pops and wrestling and everything.
Wow, man. So
I was definitely going down the wrong path. I was homeless. I started at 11 when I was homeless.
Okay.
For 4 years, I was on the streets, but I still went to school. Just one day at a time.
Good. So you got in your car, flew down to Florida. You found Alpha's Pops Wrestling Academy. Can you walk us through what that took to get into Alpha's Academy? And
I started actually with Jimmy Snuka down in CCW in 2009.
Okay.
And then I dislocated my kneecap, so I was out for little over a year. And when I came back, it was about 2013, and my cousin, Sweet Johnny Velvet, who was actually working in WXW, he's like, you need to see this guy. His name is David Ramos, Mr. NYR, WXW Hall of Famer, and he's like, he'll give you a ride. You got to come check this out. And from that day on, I was hooked. I was hooked. It actually becoming a member took a lot. I spent over a year literally sneaking into the arenas and helping set up, doing concession, doing anything and everything. First one in the truck, last one out the truck. I was anything and everything I could. It was over a year before I took my first bump for Pops. Okay. And one day I worked up the nerve to go to the school and talk to him. And I asked him, hey, what would it take? I knew it was expensive, but I would have done anything. It didn't matter. And he actually offered me a scholarship. Yes. So I got a scholarship, and he he beat the crap out of me, showed me the right way, taught me the right way. A lot of psychology, a lot of 1 a.m., 2 a.m., 3 a.m., 4 a.m. Text messages and phone calls, and I lived with him for a little while. Like I stayed with him as much as I could. And I cooked for him. did a lot. And then he was like, "All right, it's time, son. It's time." About 2 years later, when I really started working in WXW.
So you were one of the only few that got the USO Foundation scholarship.
Yes, sir. The Lambert scholarship.
The Lambert scholarship.
Lambert. Yeah. I was actually the last group, even, and there was 2 of us, and I was the only one that lasted from that last group.
Now, was the feeling of humbleness? Is that what you were going through at that moment?
Oh, disbelief. Definitely humbled. Like, are you sure? Like, I even asked him. I was like, "Are you sure?" Like, and he's like, "Yeah, son. Like, I see something, and I want you here." And I was like, I was in shock. Like, there's no real. I was just completely dumbfounded. Right. Like, this man wants me like that bad. Like, that's crazy.
And that was what year?
2000. want to say 2014 was when he offered me the scholarship.
Wow, so 10 years. And
Yeah.
Man, I mean,
I had spent 1 year just helping and showing up to every show and going over to his house to party and barbecue and everything afterwards before I took a bump. So I still count that year.
Absolutely. So we'll talk about the final show at the end of the podcast, but 10 years at WXW and the final to go into this coming Saturday, 3 days away. Dude, there's got to be already enough motions going through your head, through your heart as you train and get ready for this day. I don't even know, man.
The emotion is real. It's been a very long road. I've been through a lot in WXW, and I've missed 2 shows in those 11 years, and one of them was a suspension for fighting. It's another story, but I was still there, present. I just couldn't go out there, but I was still present. And then the other one, I was the second day of that suspension, but I still got to jump somebody and be a part of the storyline. But 2 shows, those are the only 2 shows I was not a part of in the last 11 years.
You mentioned something earlier, sneaking into the building, first one in the truck, last one in the truck. Yeah. So you know what it is to pay it back.
Absolutely, 100%.
And is that important to AFA, and is that important to just wrestling in general?
It's more respect. It's more respect. Okay. It's like they call it paying your dues and paying it forward, giving it back, but it's about respect. You show me the respect, I show you the respect. Like they say it's not given, it's earned.
Right.
Go out there and earn it. Go out there and put in the work and show everybody how much you actually care. Don't talk about it, be about it. And that's huge. I don't want to hear what you want or could or should. I want to see it.
Absolutely. That's awesome, man. So who was your greatest influence and impact in your life in wrestling?
Well, like before I actually got in WXW, I would have said Shawn Michaels, hands down. But since I had the experiences that I've had with Pops, it's Pops. Like I said, 1 a.m., 2, 3, 4 in the morning, texting. And if you don't text him back within 5 minutes, he's texting you again. What are you doing, son? Where are you? And he'll call you 5 minutes after that. What are you doing? Pop, I'm sleeping. What's going on? Yeah. Oh, okay. Just checking on you. Love you, son. Talk to you later. Bye. And he took a lot of time that he didn't have to. He didn't have to. Like I said, I was at his house with him, staying the night, and the phone calls, the texts, the emails, the everything. Back then, 11 years ago, we were still doing emails. So that's how.
Right. There was no text back then, right?
Yeah, and he sent me to the WWE a bunch. I have a lot of. I spent literally all of 2020 and most of 2021 in the WWE doing whatever extra spots and work for Raw, SmackDown, NXT, all the pay-per-views. I was crowning achievement of my life. I was part of 2 WrestleManias, and one of them where I was actually one of the bunnies in 2021 for the Bad Bunny and Priest versus the Miz and Morrison. I was one of those.
All right.
Security spots. I got beat up by Asuka. That was awesome, by the way.
I bet.
We got to run a spot with Triple H himself in the ring, and he laughed at me about having this Shawn Michaels tattoo. That was a good moment. Pat McAfee, when he did the 4-on-4 with the Undisputed Era, he dove on top of me. That was like these moments and memories of mine. I'll take forever with me, and it wouldn't have been possible without Pops.
Absolutely. Now, what's it like backstage at WWE compared to backstage at a WXW show?
Honestly, there's not much difference. Pops runs a very tight ship. It's run on respect. We show up dressed to the nines. Everybody, all hands on deck. We have our meetings. We got production. We have, it's very similar, very very similar. He's done a lot of interviews where he talks about I'm getting them ready for this. That's 100% true. I standing backstage at WXW and then standing back at all the other companies that I've been around, it's not even close.
Gotcha. So now you got the fill-ins or whatever you want to call them, the bunny spot, all that spot that you did in WWE.
Extras.
Extras. Do they? I maybe can't answer this question. Is it the experience and the education that you get there? Is that more important than the money that they would pay you to do those extras?
The money, I could have done without the money. I've done wrestling shows where I've gotten paid nothing, so that's not the motivating factor, especially for me. I got to have interactions with Vince McMahon, Shane McMahon, I said Triple H, even I got to meet Shawn Michaels. I mean, my life was complete,
100%. Yeah, I get to do something like that in June. I have a vendor table at the River City WrestleCon in St. Augustine.
Okay.
So I have a table there, and I get to meet my favorite wrestler. I get to meet Sting. I'm going to do it. And it cost me $150, but the money don't matter. I get to finally meet
Absolutely.
the man, my idol. I grew up watching Sting, everything like that. So
the experience,
absolutely. So you get to eat back there with everybody. They treat you guys like,
oh gosh, we got filet mignons and salmon.
So you're not treated any different just because you're extras.
Not at all. Not at all. Like I said, it's all respect. Everyone shakes everyone's hand, whether you're the janitor or you're John Cena. It doesn't matter.
Awesome. Okay, that's cool to hear, because too much lately you get bad ideas about what goes on behind the scenes. I mean, last night we got to watch the Young Bucks play that thing about CM Punk and Jungle Boy, in London or whatever, stuff like that. So it gives us fans a wrong impression of what happens back there. But to hear it from you, to say, hey man, they shake your hand, they treat you like just regular people back there, part of the team. That's awesome. That makes me feel better about the promotion. So
same. It's nerve-wracking when you first walk in there, because you're like, I don't know what to expect. I don't know. And then when you walk in and you got everybody, hey, hi, my name is this. My name is hi. You're like, oh, hi. It's amazing experience. Amazing.
So does the old saying, have your trunks, have your gear with you at all times? Is there truth to that?
100%. Always. If you don't have your gear, you're not a worker.
No matter if you're going to see a different promotion. If you're going to a different promotion to see a show, you better take your gear.
That's how I got on a lot of shows when I first started. Okay. Showing up, helping out, and they're like, hey, we got a spot. Do you want it? Do you got your gear? I do. It's in the car. I'll go grab it.
Yeah.
That guy I told you about, David Ramos, he took me right under his wing, and he would just be like, here, come to this show with me, just help us, and they might let you on. And that happened so many times. That's the way I got my name out there when I first started. That's just awesome. Showing up.
Do you remember your first ever match?
My first ever match was a battle royal. Yeah, I remember it very, very well. Actually, I was 3.5 months in, and CCW down in Hollywood, Florida. And Bruno, one of the old, I don't know if you remember TNA, the Main Event Mafia.
Yeah.
They had the two bodyguards, Bruno and Sally, Big Sally Boy.
Yep.
They were two of the trainers there.
Okay.
So I had my first match, and they were like, man, you're good. Hey, do you want to come to TNA? I was like, all right, sure. That's where I got my first actual exposure, 6 months in. And I did a spot with D'Angelo De Niro and Abyss when they did their casket match. And that feud, I was one of the pallbearers in there. So that was literally my first 6 months in, my first ever experience.
That's awesome.
Got to meet Sting, Ric Flair. I met Ric Flair in the bathroom.
Really?
I was, handling my business, and I'm walking out, and I'm about to go wash my hands, and he just walks in the restroom, and I'm like, what do I do? And I'm just washing my hands so slowly. He does his business. He goes over, he washes his hands. I'm drying my hands. He dries his hands, and he turns to me and goes, hey, I'm Ric Flair. I'm like, you're damn right you are. I mean, hi, I'm Sean, sir. My name is Sean. Hello. He
That's
was
awesome.
like, and he just gave me a little, whoo, son. And then he walked right out. I was just like, I just met Ric Flair in the bathroom. Like, crazy.
My next question is going to go. I mean, I don't know. This might be your answer, but that might be your answer. But what would you consider to be the highlight of your wrestling career? Was it in the bathroom when you met Ric Flair?
Man. I mean, it's up there. That's top 5. But I mean, I have a WrestleMania moment. I got to walk down the WrestleMania ramp. I got to be in the WrestleMania ring. I mean, like, there's very, very few people in this world that are going to get that kind of an opportunity. And I'm lucky enough to be one of them. So,
that was WrestleMania what?
God, it was in 2021. It was the first year they let people come back right after COVID. Like, what number? We just had 40, so.
Yeah, so 40. So.
Well, like 36, 37?
36, yeah. That's awesome, man. So
I was at both of those. The one that they had to cancel at the Raymond James Stadium.
Yep.
They moved it to the Performance Center. I was at that one. And then the one next year when they were like, no, we're doing it at the Raymond James Stadium. And then I was there for that. Got to be a buddy.
All right. What advice, man, would you give comes to mind that has helped you get as far as you are?
Keep your mouth shut. Listen. Learn. Write it down.
So the guys in the back are more important than people think they are.
Way more. Way more.
Now, do you see a lot of young people not follow that advice?
Absolutely. All the time. They're they're ego driven. They forget that it's a business and it's not about them. It's about the business. It's not about you. It's not about any one person.
Right.
I don't care bloodline or not. It's not about one person.
Right. Now, do you think that's why promotions like Alpha's promotion succeeded when as far as they did compared to others?
Absolutely. There's no Hollywood there. There's no nose in the air. We all work together. We are a family there. They're 100%. WXW is a family.
So if I ask you what your home base is, that's WXW then?
Absolutely. Easily.
Now, does Pops have a problem with you guys like Riot Pro because that's like territory days, correct? That each promotion.
True, but especially with now what's going on with WXW, it's going to be our finale. It is. Yeah. We are, going to be riding off into the sunset, which is a hard thing to say. Like, oh, that's difficult. But he understands. He's always been, hey, if you do want to do another show, just let us know. Don't say at the last minute, we're promoting you, we're pushing you, you cut promos, and then all of a sudden you can't show up. And then we see you at another show. Don't do anything like that. He's always been good about that. Always. I personally, like I said, that's my home base. So if I go to another company, I say, hey, as long as it's not a WXW day. I was like, they would give us that schedule a year in advance. So I'll be like, I'm booked for this, every single one of these.
So here's might be a hard question. Are there any guys you've faced that you don't really care to face ever again? Due to whether they're bad attitude or they're just not good?
Gosh, you want me to go there? Like I feel you nudging me. Okay. I'm gonna do this the politically correct way. And I'm going to say absolutely yes. There are a few guys, but I'm not going to give them this platform. That's for damn sure. Their names aren't going out there. But I will say this, yes. There are some guys that are totally ego driven that I will never step back in the ring with. I don't care who. I don't care what you pay me.
Okay. You have any closest friends in the business?
Absolutely. Vertigo.
Okay.
Him and I are super, super close. Like the the violence that we put onto each other in that ring just makes us closer. That's I don't know how to describe it, but that the David Ramos, Mr. NYR, family. Like our kids know each other, like very close. My tag partner, my first tag partner in WXW, Vincent McFarlane. McFarlane. Him and I, very, very close because he had his first exposure to wrestling was WXW. He came from New York and that's all he knew. And we became real, real, real close. There's a couple other people, but like definitely those guys.
And that's where brotherhood comes in, right? Because you say you have violent matches with Vertigo. If you don't trust or have that brotherhood with Vertigo, someone could get hurt.
Absolutely.
And the match could be shit.
Absolutely. The chemistry. When you don't have to say anything, and you know what that other person's going to do, and you just work so well together. It's so amazing. It's so amazing. And that's when a lot of like some of the most violent moments happen, and then we go in the back, and the biggest hugs and embraces afterwards happen. So
awesome. So say I want to be a wrestler, man. Any advice to me or any person that wants to go take that journey, jump in your car, head to Florida? You have any advice now that you've done it?
I don't know if I have advice, but I will say this. Day 2 is the hardest day.
Okay.
After you go in there for your first day and they're like, all right, we're going to test you. You're going to take a bump. You're going to hit some ropes. You're going to feel pain in places that you never felt pain before, that you never thought was possible to feel pain. You're going to lift a finger and that finger is going to be like not moving. It's when you wake up and you know you got to go into training that day 2, if you can carry yourself in there for day 2, you'll make it.
Okay. So Diamond Kid, Sean Scott, the Black Diamond, all your character personas. How did you go about getting those and your gear and all that stuff? Was there anybody that influenced that? I know you're a big Shawn Michaels fan.
So the Diamond Kid. I have been the Diamond Kid since I was 12 years old. I always, like I said, Shawn Michaels. I always want to be Shawn Michaels. And, I'm from the era of backyard wrestling.
Okay.
So that's when I first got my start. And I was like, well, I don't want to be just Sean Scott. And I don't want to steal the Heartbreak Kid. But I want to be something. And I loved the Diamond Cutter. Diamond Dallas Page, I was a fan. So I was like, you know what? How about the Diamond Kid? My cousin helped me come up with that. It's stuck. It's so every WWE video game that I have, you will see it says the Diamond Kid. Every single one.
All right.
So that was that. And then when I started wrestling, I was like, I'm just going to use it. I'm going to go with it. That's who I am. And just recently, I did a heel turn a couple years ago, where I was like, all right, this is who I'm going to be now, the Black Diamond. Like, it's awesome. It's more like a sign of I'm a black man in this business, and I want to showcase that a little bit also. Okay. I don't want to just be any diamond. I want to be a black diamond. If that makes sense.
That's fair, man. What was it like going through the curtain when you heard your music? And is it the same, do you think, as it the last time on this Saturday walking through that curtain?
Every single time I walk through the curtain, right before, I have the most butterflies. I have goose pimples. I am nervous. I am anxious. That music will hit, but the second I push open that curtain and I see those fans, it all goes away because I know that's where I'm supposed to be. On Saturday, I don't think it'll hit me until after my match. when my final bell rings in WXW. And then that's the moment I'm kind of dreading, if I'm being honest. I'm definitely dreading that moment because I didn't see this coming. It was hard when Pop said it. It really was. It was difficult. He had me literally kneel down right in front of him as he was saying this. And I was just like, and then when he asked me, help him up. And then he grabbed me, gave me a big hug, and he's like, I'm sorry, son. And I was like, no, thank you. You deserve to go out the way you want to go out. And I wouldn't be half of the person that I am if it wasn't for you. And then, of course, the waterworks came. And then you realize, like, some of these people I'll probably never see again. Because we only come together literally for WXW. Okay. So that final bell, that's when I'm going to be. Oof. That's yeah.
Man, I don't know.
Not looking forward to that.
I mean, but you got to get in that mindset that you got to perform because there's 200 to 250 tickets that were only sold.
It's going to be packed wall to wall.
Yeah, so you got to have this mindset, and it's got to be. I wouldn't know how you guys are going to do this because you've been still. I mean, you invested, and then Alpha invested in you, and brought you up as a son almost through the last 10, 15 years. And now you're performing one last time. So, man, I couldn't even imagine to be in your shoes. And I give mad props and mad respect to you guys that are going to perform on that on Saturday the 13th. I'll be watching it from home. Vertigo said that he's going to send me the link where it's going to be at so I can watch it. And
Facebook Live, WXW Wrestling on Facebook.
And I did get permission, so everybody that's watching this are going to watch this podcast, tonight's podcast. Tune in Saturday. It might be an hour late. It might be an hour delay, but I will have that footage to show on the podcast to get it out to more people. So I'm excited for it.
Yeah, I know because there's a lot of people from the last 11 years that are going to be coming back. I mean, from the last 27 years, not just my time in WXW, but even before me, that are all going to be coming. It's going to be a very emotional day. I don't know how I'm going to hold it together. I know I'm going to keep keep the wife, keep the kid, keep them at home. I wouldn't be able to handle that for sure. And go out there and put extra. I'm gonna go out there and do what I do. First and foremost, I love to wrestle, so I'm gonna go out there and do that. And when I walk through that curtain, that's what will be on my mind. But the second that final bell rings, I'm not ready for that.
All right. So in your time in Riot Pro, WXW, and everything else, is there any memorable moment, a car ride, a backstage segment where you got someone pranked you or anything? Any funny stuff happen that you could share?
I mean, there's a lot of funny things that happen. I don't know what is your rating? Is this PG? Is it?
There's no PG. No.
Gosh, I mean, there's so many times. I will say this: one of my favorite segments that I ever got to record was with a two-time WXW Hall of Famer, Shug, where we were setting up for a TLC match. And he acted like he was in the, we were at a gas station and he pulled in and he was about to pump gas and my tag team partner and I jumped him at this gas station. And like, I put a dent in his car with his head. That was a great moment. But everybody was like, oh my gosh, call the police, 911. And we're like, no, wait, hold on. I'm black. You can't call the police. Please don't do that to me. This is a joke. We can't. No, please don't do this. We love each other. I swear, it's not like that. And that was awesome. that was a moment. There's been a lot. I can't. I mean, like the best is our after parties. When we get together after our shows, and I mean, we used to have this one house that we went to early on. Like, this is 10 years ago easily. And we used to go to this house, and there would be wrestling matches in the living room, and a few adult beverages would be around. And and us, because we've been cramming real hard and preparing real hard for the show, right across the street was this donut place that was open 24 hours, and they made gourmet donuts. Donut King, shout out.
Okay.
And they had little slider burgers. And yeah, we would max out on those and get real stupid. It was just fun. It was a lot of that family environment. We just had a lot of fun acting really stupid.
Awesome, man. Awesome. So, fan interactions, man. A, how important are fans? And B, is there any one favorite moment with a fan that you can remember?
Fans are extremely important. Whether you love us or hate us, it doesn't matter. If you boo the crap out of me and boo me out of the arena, I will be even more happy than if you're cheering me, because I know I did my job. So fans are incredibly important. And I will say this, my first, I've had a few, there's two actually that I really want to touch on. One, there was this little girl who made her own t-shirt that said she's the Diamond Kids princess. And it was custom made, and she put all this glitter on it. She had a sign. Oh God, I'll never forget that little girl. Like, that was my first real time where I was like, oh my goodness. And then the second one was actually a wrestler in WXW now. His name is RPJ. He's been in for a couple of years. But back when I first started, he came as a fan, and he took photos with myself and Vinny.
Okay.
And he was, and I didn't know. And then I think this was a year and a half ago, we together won the Wild Samoan Tag Team Tournament.
Okay.
And then afterwards, he was like, just so you know, look at this photo, and he shows me, and I'm like, what? Like, what? And I'm like, what a moment,
Absolutely.
So both, like, a fan to actually being in there and then living that out, that was powerful in itself.
Okay. Well, my wife and we run an emergency shelter for foster kids here in the Panhandle of Florida. We have 9 kids at a time. So, of course, we sit around the dinner table and have dinner, and we talk about what we're going to be doing that night. And so they know I have a podcast. So they asked if they could come up with some questions for me to ask the wrestlers.
Yeah.
So kind of like a shoot, real fast shoot questions. So let's fire away. There's probably 8 to 9 questions.
All right.
Simple. Favorite food?
That is not simple. I'm a chef. Steak. I love steak.
So I'm asking a chef this. Does pineapple belong on pizza?
No. I knew where you were going. No. I hate that. That is disgusting. No.
Okay. Favorite book?
Oh, gosh. Between Dennis Rodman's Bad as I Want to Be and Shawn Michaels' autobiography. The first one. The first one.
Okay. Favorite TV show?
Oh, come on. That 70s Show?
Okay. You got a favorite movie?
Oh, come on. I love movies. I have like 700 DVDs. I love movies. The Outsiders. I don't know why, but I love The Outsiders.
That's a great movie.
Ready to Rumble.
Yeah. Now, have you watched the Bray Wyatt documentary?
Not yet, no.
Neither have I. So I want to ask that. Do you have any hobbies?
I love to sew.
Okay.
My first gear was all sewn by myself.
Really?
Yes. All of my beginning stuff, the singlets, the shorts and shirts, everything.
Wow. I have to ask this question because my kid asked me to ask this question, but I don't want to ask this question because I see it in the background. Favorite sports team?
Oh, it's Green Bay. Oh, it's Green Bay. I have that Green Bay. Packers, baby. Detroit sucks. I'm sorry. I had to say it.
Wow. Well, goodbye.
Green, end transmission. No.
We're good. So, what's your Mount Rushmore of wrestlers?
Oh my gosh. So Shawn Michaels, that's a given. Alpha is a given.
Yep.
But after that, I'm gonna go Booker T.
Okay.
And God, Dean Malenko.
All right. I'll take that. So we're on the last 25 minutes of the show, and we're going to dedicate it all to a lot of it to WXW.
Oh, I'm good with that.
Yeah.
Oh wait, hold
on. Well, you can before we go, bring that back because I want to talk about that real quick.
Oh,
Riot Pro Wrestling.
Yes.
You're one half of the tag team champion.
Yes, we wouldn't have these championships if it wasn't for me. I just want to state that clearly so that when you talk to Chico, he knows he wouldn't have that if it wasn't for me. Just saying.
So I understand that Chico Adams is your partner.
Reluctantly, yes.
And he is the Riot Pro World Champion.
Until he faces me.
That you want to face him so bad that you want that title.
Oh, I'm the number one contender. I will be facing him, and I will be taking it.
Chico Adams.
Yes.
Watching at work, wherever you're at. I know we'll talk about this at 10.
Chico, you suck.
Chico sucks. Why does he suck?
You have to ask. Oh, I almost went there. I'm not going to go there. Oh, you almost got me.
That was a loaded question. So. In your opinion, Chico sucks.
In everybody's opinion, there's quite a few who have stated that. I mean, you don't even hear his music anymore. All you hear is Chico sucks. So that's why I don't walk out with him. I walk out by myself when everybody loves me.
Because you don't want to be related. You don't want to be affiliated.
Not even close.
Because you're his tag team partner, but
I don't give a damn. No, I don't give a damn. I am who I am. I am that man. It is I, it is me. It's the Black Diamond, baby. That is it.
Chico sucks. Okay. So let's rotate out of the Riot Pro.
Oh, all right, you put me in that mode. Oh, let me just. All right.
And we want to pay homage to WXW's Alpha, the Wild Samoans, and everything they did. Julio Vertigo says he wants to know. This is straight from Julio Vertigo Rivera. Why did you burn the chicken?
That lying son of a... I am not the burnt out Chef Manny. I have never in my life burnt chicken. And you need to ask him. No, gosh, you're gonna make you're like
really trying to. You're circling around that question. I know that.
I said I didn't burn it. I ain't never burned chicken in my life.
But what do you have to say though?
I'm black. I don't burn chicken. That chicken don't. I would lose my Negro card if I burned some chicken. That ain't happening. I still got it. It ain't happening. Ooh, see Vertigo trying me because he knows this. So listen. So we're gonna take a step back. I see. Look, you got me adjusted. And he a Mets fan. So let me get this right up here. I want Vertigo to pay real close attention. So listen, machismo, puñeta. You need to know this. Last time we was in the ring, I pinned you 1, 2, 3, and that's why I am the number one contender for the Riot Heavyweight Championship, and not you. So you're gonna be salty and talk some ish about some chicken that you know daggone well that burnt out Chef Manny did that, not me. I would never, I'd be disowned from my whole community. It would never happen. So don't play with me, boy. Don't play with me. Go get your chancleta and get out of my face. So you trying to make me go there. See, you okay? At least you waited to the end.
Yeah, I mean, so
the Mets suck, by the way.
The Mets suck.
That was for Vertigo.
Vertigo, the Mets suck.
Yeah.
Vertigo, he did not burn the chicken.
Vertigo, and more properly, he should be called horizontal because he's not vertical. He's actually short and stubby. Let's get that correct, okay? There's nothing vertigo about him.
So I feel shots are being fired.
All yes. Yeah. If you gonna tell me I'm burning some chicken, I'm a black man. You ain't gonna tell me I burnt no daggone chicken. I ain't never in my life come at me like that, boy.
So, have you ever came at his championship that he holds at WXW?
Actually, here's last year at this event that we had in April, the Extreme War, WXW, I myself made history winning it with my former tag team partner, Vincent, Vinnie Mac. We won together. Schematics, I won. We had a triple threat match for that WXW World Heavyweight Championship against Vertigo. Vertigo didn't pin me. I did not lose. When it was me and him in the ring, I dropped him. And I've never gotten a one-on-one match against him.
I know they call me
that clear.
They called me the pot stirrer, and I want to bring up a little bit of a angle. I think that I heard you. It seems to me that you don't appreciate your partner. I mean, you said it about Chico Adams and Riot Pro. You said it about Vinny, whatever his name, at WXW.
Yeah, I like how you put that, Vinny, whatever his name. That's how it goes.
And so it seems like you think you're the more important partner of the.
Well, I am the Shawn Michaels. I am not the Marty Jannetty. Always remember that.
That's true.
Always remember that. Always. But you have to hear, I didn't turn on Vinny. Vinny actually turned on me.
Okay.
He tried to take out my knee. And then actually there's a clip. There's actually a clip on my Instagram page. Just go check that out. Diamond Kid 8118 Instagram. Go check that out. It's a clip of me slapping the absolute tar out of that boy and feeding him to the wolves for trying that with me. I don't take kindly to disrespect, especially from little punks that don't deserve it.
So Vinny cost you the title against Vertigo.
Well, he's the one that lost. I didn't lose. Well, I didn't get pinned. My shoulders went down.
Okay. So do you bring that up often at Riot Pro to Vertigo?
Well, see, I would. But like I said, the last time we were in the ring together, I pinned him 1, 2, 3 in the middle of the ring. That was at Riot. But I did pin Vertigo right in the middle of the ring.
All right. So why aren't you in that match with Vertigo Rivera at the end of the night on the April 13th?
Well, that is actually a very good question. I want to make more history than I've already done. As a 3-time WXW Tag Team Champion, as a two-time Wild Samoan Tag Team Tournament Cup winner. I have 3 trophies, but that's another story also. And the only person to win it with an anchor on my back. The Extreme War, that is. So I want to make history this year and win the Extreme War one more time. The final war of WXW. I want to be the last person standing in that ring when everything goes down. When the finale is final, I want to be that one person standing tall in the middle of the ring.
We'll see that on the 13th.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
So who's that one challenger that you have your eyes on at this moment?
Challenger? I'll put it like this. There's only 2 people I really want to fight right now. And that is Chico and Vertigo. And we can do a triple threat match for that Riot World Heavyweight Championship for all I give a damn. Because I will be coming out on top. Okay. Period.
There's one other guy that that you have his interest, or he has your interest. Mr. Hudson, Jonathan Hudson, wants to wrestle you for the final show. And his question is, are you up for the challenge?
Jonathan has what is he doing? Is he texting in and stuff? He's trying to get a rub off on me, trying to get some views, trying to get some followers, trying to get some likes. This dude, he is like he is the sorriest version of Stone Cold Steve Austin I've ever seen in my life. He is all talk and no show. That's fine. I'll kick his ass. It doesn't matter to me. Me and him can start 1-2 in the Extreme War for all I give a damn. It doesn't matter to me. I'll throw him out like I'll throw everybody else out. No one is standing in my way when it comes to me This Saturday, WXW is mine for the taking. Period.
So is that Battle Royal the only thing that you're in on Saturday?
Oh, come on, man. I'm top dog. I'm in everything. I'm in everything. So don't
Will you
get that.
be down at the ring when Vertigo faces Low Key?
Never know.
Never know, huh?
I mean, I do know Low Key from TNA when I was there.
Yeah.
We go back. Never know.
How much play do you have, or do you plan on having, in Chico Adams versus Bobby Fish?
See, actually, Bobby Fish. You should actually check social media. Because the last time that Bobby Fish and I were in the same arena, it was at Riot Pro Wrestling when he was supposed to face Chico Adams one-on-one. But then he started running his mouth, talking like he's all this big bad man, and big bad blah, 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 blah. So I dropped him.
The way I look at things is Chico Adams, Bobby Fish, both boys don't like you. You don't like them. That could be an interesting three-way.
It could be. But I don't want the TV title. I want Chico Adams at Riot for the world title. So we'll just leave that over there. Yeah. Bobby Fish can have his rub off from WXW, the one place that he ain't been. He can get his little shine on. You know, go ahead, do your thing.
Absolutely.
But just know, next time we see you, I'm gonna do the same thing I did to you last time, Mr. Fish. Have you flopping around, gasping for breath.
So, huge pop wrestling fans, anybody that watches this now or later on, this boy, Sean Scott, the Black Diamond, has...
Hey, watch this.
Has pretty much basically throughout a few challenges, if I might say. Vertigo Rivera.
The Cure.
Bobby Fish.
The Flounder.
Chico.
You suck.
Adams. That could be good, right? Chico, you suck.
You suck.
Yeah, Kurt Angle, right?
See?
And then Jonathan Hudson. There's four guys that threw out challenges. I see a lot of future for Sean Scott, and four guys that would be awesome to see. That'd be great. So
because I'm in the match, though, don't forget that. The only one thing in common with all of those matches,
the common denominator is
right
the Diamond Kid, Black Diamond. Yep, that's the common. And I get that. And all mad props to you, man. Wasn't being a disrespect, but
yeah, because I am black. It's not the Black Diamond. I am the Black Diamond.
Okay, gotcha. So
check yourself, man. You getting awful comfortable. What you drinking in your cup? That's what I want to know.
I'm representing Detroit Tigers. See that?
Oh, sorry, sons of bitches.
So I know this is gonna suck. This part of the conversation is gonna suck, and it's gonna be emotional. But let's talk about it. I got several questions. I got 5 questions, and I'm gonna let you close the show. So first question is WXW, Alpha, the Wild Samoans. Can you give me your thoughts on working with Alpha and the history of WXW?
Working with my pop. Go ahead. What were you saying?
I have something that might just sum it up, honestly. I think you did this a couple of days ago. I saw a 5-minute video clip. Do you mind if I show it?
Go for it.
This by far is the hardest thing that I've ever had to do. I just can't seem to think of the right words, the right time, the right place. So I figured, why not? Right now, I'm just gonna speak. I'm just gonna talk. After hearing the news about WXW closing, sitting there for that, like right in front of Pops as he told everybody. Now, all I'm doing is thinking and reminiscing because, like, I mean, I've been with WXW over 10 years, and I probably shouldn't even be here in the first place. The path I was going down, I'd have been dead or in jail long before. And I mean, a lot of people don't know this, but I mean, I used to sneak into WXW shows. I used to sneak my way around and get into the concession and help there. I would be the first one in the truck, last one out the truck, setting up, tearing down. I did that for a year before I ever even took a bump for Pops. And then one day he was just like, and then one day I got up the nerve and I was like, I'm going to go in. I'm going to see what's up. I'm going to talk to him. And I did. And I asked if I could train, knowing I didn't have the money, knowing it would take me a while to be able to get it. But I just wanted to talk to him. And Pop sat me down in the office and offered me a scholarship. Like, for me, like, full ride. He just wanted me to come in and work my butt off and live up to my potential. And that really meant a lot to me. So, I mean, I started training, and literally that day, I jumped in the ring. I thought I was being punked. I never thought that I'd even get that opportunity. I got to... People call him Pops, but don't really understand, like, he really was to some people. Because I didn't have that growing up. I didn't have a mom. I didn't have a dad that was always there. You know, like, I was on my own a lot. I was by myself a lot. I was on the streets, and I was doing a whole bunch of stuff that I really shouldn't have been doing. And Pops just helped me, took me and guided me, and beat the crap out of me. But I wouldn't have it any other way. He definitely made me into, like, the man I am today. Him and Mom, for that matter. I mean, for all the psychology that Pops drills into you, or to me personally, I mean, Mom did the same thing, but for my heart, for my mind, for my health, relationships, whatever it was, she was always there, just like Pops. I mean, when I say WXW is a family, like, it really is. I mean, I used to sleep at their house. I used to cook for them. I say used to, but everybody knows I still do, and Pops knows that I'm going to be coming over cooking for him all the time. I don't care. But back then, we used to have all these barbecues, and and when I would spend the night a few nights in a row or stay there with him, and I would just cook all the time, every meal, whatever I could. If it wasn't for Pops, like, I wouldn't have a lot of the relationships I have. I wouldn't have the memories that I have with everybody. I wouldn't have been the best man at Suge's wedding. I wouldn't have, hands down, the greatest tag team partner anybody could ever ask for. Who we actually have daughters that are a week apart, less than a week apart. The next generation. If it wasn't for Pops and Mom, I mean, who knows where I would be. I can't wait till this final show. I can't wait.
Wow. I have a few more questions, and I just felt that was fitting time to play that. I watched it yesterday, and I'm like, man, I got to play that on tonight's show. So that speaks volumes to Pops, Mom, the whole Wild Samoan family. You name it. I mean, let's face it, one of your arch nemesis, Julio Vertigo Rivera, is part of that family. And man, I don't, dude, I guess I can say, what does WXW mean to you?
What What actually is not even showing in that video, there was that sticker that was on me. Pop's been going through it. He's been in the hospital dealing with a lot of stuff, and that was from that day. I was in the hospital with him there. He was just himself, you know. He talked about how he was cussing out nurses and telling them get out, and the other ones he was like, "You stay." And it was just it was one of those times. On a real note, like I had a different video that I had cut, you know, promo, and it just didn't feel right. And after I was done with him, I couldn't drive. I just put on the camera and I just shot. I just was like, this is it. That was just one take. I just shot it, and then I gave it to Vertigo, and he had his wife valet air it, and that was it. It was a losing WXW is it's a huge loss in my life.
I mean, you've through the stories of the hour that we've been together, you've shared how Alpha impacted your life. You know, taking you in, giving you the scholarship, the the taking you in as a son, the give you a dad that you didn't have. So you've shared all those the impacts. But what would you say your biggest takeaway or lesson that you've learned from Pops was?
Oh, man. Honestly, it has nothing to do with wrestling. I was very lost. I was angry all the time. All right, I'm gonna go there. I guess. Like I didn't like myself a lot. I mean, I still don't, but I really hated myself back then, and I had very bad thoughts. Um, he pulled me out of that very darkness. A lot of prayers, like that's something. This is something like I've never talked about, but that's the kind of man he is. Like he just prayed with me and would send me scripture. That was before, you know, the new breed, before championships and all that. It was the man that he is. Aside from wrestling, no offense to anyone that's gotten the rub off from him, it's way more important than wrestling. The man and the human being that he is. It speaks so many volumes. It makes it made me into the father that I am right now. I don't think without him I would be half of the dad that I am.
So, what is your single biggest moment or memory from your time at WXW?
Oh my God, I love this memory. We had an anniversary show. Haku, Rocky Johnson, Sika, Gangrel, all these people were there, and I was in Team Extreme, and we were about tearing down anything and everything WXW if it had nothing to do with us, and I grabbed OJ and I threw him over the railing. I brought him over to the Hall of Famers table, and I looked Haku right in his face, and I told him he is nothing. He's never been a Hall of Famer. He isn't even worth being in the building with me. I told him he should sit the hell down and shut the hell up. And he took the table that it was right in front of the both of us and flipped it into my face. And picked up a chair and pounded the crap out of me and then headbutted me all over. Rocky Johnson beat me up. Sika beat me up. And then Pops headbutted me about 18 times. That is the one. This was 2016, 17, 18, right in there, our anniversary show, and that one will stick with me forever. I loved every minute. Haku was, oh my gosh. Like, you see him on TV, Haku, I love you, cuz, I love you, Unc. It just, Haku, like, destroyed us. At one point, he got us on the ground, me and Vinny, and he picked up the table and slammed it down on top of us, and then picked up the chair and was hitting the table with the chair on top of it. God, I'll never forget that. I'll never forget that. And then Rocky Johnson or Sika standing on top of it, doing a surfboard. It was that was amazing.
Awesome, man. So I'm gonna give you the last whatever you want to say. I'm gonna give you the chance to say whatever you need to say, what's on your mind, whether it be about WXW, any shots that need to be fired to Chico, to your opponent, anything you want to do. Close it your way. And then after you're done talking and closing, I'll play some closeout music. But don't go anywhere. Don't get offline. I want to talk to you in the green room. Okay.
All right. Okay. There's a few things that I'm going to say. I'm going to start this off by saying, first and foremost, Riot Pro Wrestling, I am taking over absolutely everything. I am sick of being somebody's puppet. I will be on top, and there's nothing anyone can do about it. It is my time, period. UCWverse.com. That's what y'all need to check out. That is the new best up-and-coming thing ever, and you will see me all over it. UCWverse.com. Check it out. It is worth it. Chico Adams. You and I have about a 3-4 year long rivalry. You're the reason my ankle was dislocated. I'll never forget that. I will destroy you. Now, anybody else who has an issue with me, that's on you. Jonathan Hudson, you want to come for me? You can come for me, kid. I don't give a damn. I'm not worried about it, all right? Other than that, if it wasn't for Pops, I would not be alive. And I want to make that very clear. He saved me. I will forever be indebted to that man. I don't know why he did it, but he did. And now all I can think about doing is passing that along and being someone to help anybody who might need it. So right now I'm going to say, if you hit me up on social media and you want any kind of help, any kind of guidance, any kind of show that I'm on, if I can get you the smallest rub off, I will. I will get you into where I can. I want everybody to be able to succeed in what they love doing. I ain't nobody, but I'll do something for somebody. Period. Thank you from the bottom of my heart, WXW. Thank you to every single person who ever supported WXW, supported myself, supported Pops. It means everything to me. I literally would not be here if it wasn't for that. Thank you so much. And I said it and I meant it. And that's that.
Huge Pop Wrestling Podcast fans, you've heard it from the Diamond Kid, the Black Diamond, Sean Scott. One part of the tag team for Riot Pro. He's going into a battle royal at WXW. He's a Sox fan. Forgive him for that. But, you know, he's a Green Bay Packer fan, and forgive him for that as well. He's still a good dude. Thank you, Mr. Scott, for sharing your story. Share your memories of WXW. Share your moments of memories of Pops. Julio Vertigo Rivera. I know you love him. And hate him. And I want to wish you good luck on Saturday. I'll be watching. Man, I do not know how you're going to handle it. It's got to be tough. I don't even know how. I wouldn't even want to come close to doing that. So what I'm saying is, thank you for your time and your stories. I appreciate it. Fans, keep on coming. WXW week. We got Thursday, Friday, and the Saturday show. More interviews to come. I have Chico Adams. I have Ashley Hartley, and a couple more. So Stay tuned and don't go anywhere, man. Huge Pop Wrestling Podcast. We're out.
All my dogs, make some noise up in this house.
Who is in the house? Who is in the house? It's the gangster of destruction, so you know what's going down. And when the drive-by's coming, then you better hit the grind. Cause when your body hits the canvas, then your head is knocked out. Who is in the house? Who is in the house? It's the gangster of destruction, so you know what's going down. And when the drive-by's coming, then you better hit the grind. Cause when your body hits the canvas, then your head is knocked out.
Fight with Adrian Whisper is like a fight with the devil, because when he's dealing with you, you cannot get on this level.
Fight with Adrian Whisper, it's like a fight with a king. It's like a fight with an army, they got the tanks and everything.
He's leaving bruises and stitches, possibly leaving you crippled, cause when he sets up the table and sends you straight through the middle.
Six sadistic free, beat that ass with a light bulb. Leave a piece of glass embedded in the back of your skull. Who is in the house? Who is in the house? It's the gangster of destruction, so you know what's going down. And when the drive-by's coming, then you better hit the ground. Cause when your body hits the canvas, then your ass is knocked out. Who is in the house? Who is in the house? It's the gangster of destruction, so you know what's going down. And when the drive-by's coming, then you better hit the ground. Cause when your body hits the canvas, then your ass is